Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery, outdoors on a chilly but sunny December day, and we are bringing you for the first time the TenPoint Flatline 460 crossbow. You can see right off the bat that it is a reverse draw style crossbow, so great for tight quarters. This thing is 12 inches at its widest when it is uncocked. Then when I cock it, it gets to 7.5 inches wide. Pretty incredible there. The bow itself is 26.5 inches long. That's minus the foot stirrup. So that's from the front of the bow to the buttstock, 26.5 inches. It is gonna weigh 7.5 pounds without the scope. So those are the specs for the Flatline 460. Of course, that 460, what that means is 460 feet per second. But I can tell you, we shot it on our chronograph and got 475 feet per second. And that is shooting the 16-inch bolts. That's what the Flatline shoots, 16 inches. That's a super short crossbow bolt there. These things do weigh 400 grains. And as I mentioned, we got 475 feet per second. The Flatline 460, this is gonna have a lot of the features that we're familiar with TenPoint, in that it does have the Accu-Slide, is gonna be your string capture and cocking mechanism. You are going to be able to decock this simply by turning the handle backwards, during the cocking procedure. Just turn that crank the other direction. It does have a built-in clutch, so you can let go of the handle and it's not going to start free falling one way or the other, free spinning. A new feature, couple new features for the Flatline 460. You're going to see these struts right here on the side of the scope mount. So that is to just solidify that scope mount there. These things could have a tendency, if you hit one, they could bend. With those struts there, nothing is going to happen to this scope mount. That thing is rock solid. Incidentally, the scope is going to be an Evo X Marksman 100-yard scope. So inside the scope, you're going to have reticles every 10 yards from 20 to 100 yards. Of course, the scope itself is going to be adjustable to the speed of your bow. That is going to change the magnification, but how you're going to want to set it is to the speed of your bow. So another new feature TenPoint came out with on the Flatline 460, something that they heard from feedback, I know we heard it from customers, was they shifted the cable anchor point. They shifted it back. So that did two things. It allowed them to shorten the overall crossbow, but it also changed the balance. These crossbows in the past kind of felt top heavy. When you came up, they just wanted to tip forward. This one, being short and moving some of that heavier parts of the bow backwards, it balances super nice. So, you're sitting in the blind and you want to bring this thing up, it's nice and compact. You're not going to hit the front of that blind. The balance is nice. Just a great balancing crossbow, partly because of shifting that anchor point backwards. All right, the trigger, we do have a 2-stage trigger. There is 0 creep in this thing. It is a nice firm trigger. When you get on that, it doesn't take much to get that trigger to activate. Super comfortable trigger that they have this year. All right, so cocking the Flatline 460. This is gonna be a typical, we've done this before with other TenPoint bows. So you're going to take your cocking handle, which is built into the handle of the bow. You're going to take that off, and then you're going to insert it in the slot here for the crank. And now with the bow at rest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it 4 times backwards, and then I'm going to come forward, push the slide release. That's this silver button right here. And that's going to cause the Accu-Slide, it's going to fall in front of the struts. That's one of the key points, so you can just maneuver it with your fingers. You want it to fall in front of the struts. If it doesn't, all you have to do is unwind. Unwind, and the Accu-Slide, you'll see it. You can track it down to the string. There's going to be 2 clicks. The first click is going to be your string engaging the anti-dry fire. Then, once you have enough slack in it, you're going to want to push the Accu-Slide forward, and the second click is going to be the bowstring actually being captured by the Accu-Slide. So you want those 2 clicks. That's going to activate the anti-dry fire, and it's going to engage the Accu-Slide. Then, you know, we're just going to crank it back. It does not make any clicking sound. It is a totally silent crank. We're going to crank all the way back, and you're going to hear a click. Once you hear a click, you know you're at the maximum distance. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 backwards turns with my cranking handle. That's going to be backwards, counterclockwise. And then I'm going to reach forward, and I'm going to grab a little black button in the buttstock. I'm going to push that in, and I'm going to do 1 more unwind. That's just helping with the spring coil inside the cocking mechanism. Once I do that, I'm ready to fire. Going to take my bolt, and the bolts that come with the bow, it does have, you know, 2 yellow and 1 white, and the white one has printed right on it, this side down. So that's going to be what I'm going to put in the center of my slide. I'm going to push it all the way to the back of the bow as far as I can get it. Now I'm ready to fire. Bring the bow up. Just going to push my safety forward, and we're going to take the shot. And so this, you know, crossbows are definitely louder than compound bows, but this one, the Flatline 460, it's not too loud. It's nice. You know, we are outside. There is a little bit of a pop to it, but compared to some other crossbows, this one is fairly quiet. So shooting the Flatline 460, I mean, it's comfortable. It's nice and short and compact. Like I mentioned with that balance, it balances nice. With that trigger being super crisp, I came out here, you know, with no practice with this, stood at 50 yards shooting it offhand, and I was able to put it exactly where I was aiming downrange. So it is accurate, easy to shoot. That's what we like. And, you know, there's not much, you don't really have the same kind of recoil with a crossbow, obviously, as you do with a gun. You do know it goes off, but it's not bad recoil. You just feel that the bow went off. But nice shooting, and you can definitely tell that it is fast. What I like about it is the ease of operation and the things that you can do with it. Like I mentioned, I can let go of that handle while cocking or decocking, and it's not going to start spinning freely. And the fact that to decock it, I can just unwind the handle. That's certainly simple. I don't have to shoot this bow in order to get it to, you know, at the end of the day, if I don't take a shot at a game animal or anything, I don't have to shoot it to decock it. I can just put in my hand crank and just wind it down. All right, that is the Flatline 460. Great new crossbow from the folks at TenPoint. They're stepping up their game in terms of user interface with these crossbows, making them easier to use, more comfortable to shoot. Great new crossbow from TenPoint. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.